Hello, 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 live. I hope so. Are we live? No? Maybe not. It always takes a few minutes before you go really live on YouTube. So we're gonna wait a little bit before we start talking. All right. What a day it was, huh? What a day. Hello, everybody. Say hi to us when you are in the chat. Say hi. Say hi to us. I see many people start coming. Okay. Hello, everybody. Show yourself. Show yourself. Say hi to other people. Where are you from? So we can give you a shout. Why not? And if you want to come and talk to us, we will be more than happy to send you the link. All right? Okay. What a day. Started very early. Actually, night here in America. Certain people woke up like 3 o'clock in the morning just to get ready for the game at 4 o'clock. So it's tough to be a Chelsea fans overseas, right? But it was a good result, so everything is good. It's always very tough when you lose. You know, when you make a big sacrifice like that and you lose, and then you're like, your entire day is done. But we won, so it's all good. And also Tottenham lost, so it's all good. Jose Mourinho. How many losses this season? I don't know. So Mourinho, man, Mourinho looks like the third season syndrome is catching up on him. Earlier this season, looks like he's losing the dressing room. Nothing is working out. Bell is not bailing him out. And he started saying certain things in public, shaming players as usual. So Mourinho might lose it very soon. Who knows? But he was brought to help Spurs win trophies. So they have to be very patient with him. Give him more time. So yeah. So guys, if you are ready, I can send you the link so you can come talk to us. I know many people already are sleeping because, you know, they live in other countries, but it is what it is, man. If we don't have many people, we can just make this a short video and people can watch the video in the morning when they wake up. No problem with that. And people here in the US, some of them still at work and all that. So yeah, it's complicated, the world, man. Other people are sleeping, other people are going to work. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. Okay, so anybody want to come and talk to us? Oh, I should just go online and start reading what people have been saying about the day. And if you have any question, you can ask. And you can come through for free. Just click the link and come talk to us, as you can tell. So let's go see what Chelsea people, Chelsea community been talking about on Twitter. Okay, let's share the screen. Share screen. Let's go. Welcome, Tuchel. Tuchel or Tuchel or Tuchel. So many ways to pronounce his name. I don't know why certain people want to make it a big deal. 10 languages, 10 different pronunciation. That's the way it is in this world. It's ended up 2-0. A dominating performance from the Blues today. And Marcos Alonso with a wonder goal. Yeah, a goal that only Timo Werner can only dream of, you know, because he's not doing anything today. Or he's not doing anything since November, I think. November last year. Wow, that was a long time ago. Timo Werner needs to adjust. Hey, Alex, what's going on, brother? Hey, yeah, man, focus on school, bro. Thank you so much for always helping. But if you want to catch some sleep and go to yeah, so man, you don't have to worry about it. I just wanted to talk to some people who didn't have a chance to talk. I know I completely understand that many people are sleeping already, so you don't have to wake them up. It's going to be a very short stream to talk about Jose Mourinho. Pochettino also lost the first game in charge with PSG at home. And Chalobah was good. I don't know if anybody remember Chalobah, Trevor Chalobah. So he plays for Lorient. They are like the bottom of the league, but they beat the top of the league, PSG. Football is crazy sometimes. It doesn't happen often in France because it's one team league, but sometimes it can happen, and they have many injuries. The goalkeeper, but Mbappe was there, Neymar was there, Icardi was there. So losing against a small team like Lorient is really a shame. So, okay. Yeah, happy time, Mr. Kwesi Fields. Yeah, he's up. If you want to come and talk to us, the link is in the description. You can click the link and follow instructions and come talk to us. Otherwise, it's going to be maybe 10 more minutes before I end this, because I make these shows for people to talk, not for me, you know. I like people to ask questions so I can respond, or people come through and start talking. The show for the people and by the people. And I can put the title, just the title, because I have to put the title, but most of the time the discussion is going the way that people want. So, you know, they decide about what we're gonna talk. So don't mind the title. The title is just the title, but the discussion could be something else, you know. And yeah, let's go and read a little bit of your comment on social media. 2-0. Celebrating after beating a small team. Wow, this is Tony Garner. I know, right? This is an Arsenal fan, so you can't expect him to say anything good about Chelsea. Cruz, my brother. What's going on, Mr. Cruz?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm here. Happy day.
Good, man. Good.
Yeah, how was your day?
Good, man. Just relaxed, chilled. I was off work today, so back in tomorrow. So just relaxed and
Oh,
literally watched all the football, every single game, man. Every single game today, I watched it from 12
did you
o'clock.
watch Brighton?
Yeah, I'm so happy, man. So happy. You know, the one thing in football that kills us as fans is that even though we know in the back of our mind probably the title it's not going to happen, but when you watch the table and you see those kind of results, I'm watching all the fixtures. I'm looking at who Man City's next games on. I'm like, if they can just lose that game, and then if Liverpool lose that game, then maybe we can win that game, and then maybe we still have a chance. That's the one thing as fans, you know, the hope kills us.
There is always hope. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There is always hope, and you know, winning makes you feel good.
Yeah,
I can go tomorrow in the office and walk in like the boss. I'm like, yeah, you know, we won.
exactly.
People watching.
Exactly. But they
Yeah.
got outplayed though. Just to say on Tottenham, they got outplayed. Did you watch it as well? They got literally Brighton were on top for the most of the game, I think.
I watched just a little bit because I had some other stuff to take care of. But yeah,
man.
Very happy that they lost. And I heard that Lamptey didn't even play.
Yeah, no, he's been out. I think he's got. So imagine if we had Lamptey now. Obviously, Odoi's done well, but imagine we had a Lamptey in the right wing back as maybe backup or something right now as well. I think because he's perfect for this kind of wing back system. They missed him today, Brighton, but they managed to still win. So
yeah,
lucky. So hopefully we can 3 points now. We're not far from fourth place. If we can get some momentum, we get some momentum, we could be right back in it.
The next one is Spurs, right?
Yeah, next one Spurs, and I think we got Sheffield, and then Newcastle, and then Barnsley, and then so there's a few games for the next 3-4 games. I had a look at it. I think we could, if we get a result after Spurs, there's about 4 games in a row before that big one against Atletico Madrid. That we can get a run together. You never know, because the thing is in the top 8 right now, everyone's playing each other. Like you look at it, like Wolves got Arsenal, then Wolves play I know Wolves are further out of the top 8, but then you got Wolves versus Everton versus Villa. So everyone's still playing each other in and around that top 8 to top 10 sort of position. So if the other teams can take some points off each other while we keep beating the lower teams, because I think we got some lower teams like Sheffield, Newcastle, and things like that after Spurs. So if we can win those games, get 3-4 wins together, I think that'll take us up into the top 4. I don't even think it will put us outside it. I think it will take us into it if the other results go our way. But we have to just keep winning. There's no better remedy than wins. If we can just get the wins, we just need the W's. I'm not too concerned about the performances right now. I know everyone's happy. I'm happy with the way we improved, but right now it's about the wins.
It's about winning. Yeah.
Anyhow, Alonso came on. Obviously, I know most of us were like flipping. Oh man, Alonso, what's going on here? But every day, if he does that every week, I don't care. Play anything.
Yeah, just play him. Yeah, get us 3 points. That's the most important.
100%.
Yeah.
At this point of the season.
This season, really, let's forget about playing beautiful football or whatever, or why such and such not playing. Why? Just leave it for now. Win the game. And ask questions maybe at the end of the season, because the end of the season we're gonna have a preseason. We finished top 4. We got Haaland, and we got a few more players, and then we can start talking about what is your system and what's it.
Exactly.
A good system is the system that will win you games. That's it.
Exactly. And I think he's done a good thing by changing the squad. I think he's been very clever with the players. I think he has a good relationship with already. So I think like with Pulisic, you've not seen him start, but that's because he has a bit of time with Pulisic, because him and Pulisic are at Dortmund. So I think he's saying to him on the slide, like, look, I know you're not playing, but let me just figure out what's going on at this team. I know some people maybe might not be happy they haven't been playing. So I think he's used that relationship to give maybe Odoi a chance and give some people a chance. And he's looking at the squad. It's literally virtually nearly 2 different 11s. from game to game. So now, and that's the thing. What we said when Lampard came in, like this season, everyone said we had the best probably squad. Best squad is such a big thing to say, but I think like in terms of man for man, like with the 5 centre backs and the 3 left backs and the untold midfielders that we had, we always had the biggest squad and maybe one of the best squads. So and I think that was one of the problems where we didn't use it. We didn't see him build the relationships and bring people out. We just saw Mason Mount after Mason Mount after Mason Mount after Mason Mount. It's up to the manager to kind of change those relationships. And it's not having a go at Lampard. It's just to say, like, sometimes you might have to say, you know what, Mason Mount, you've been great 3 games in a row, but I'm going to chuck in Jorginho. And even us as fans might be like, oh, what are you doing? But at least you give Jorginho a chance to come and prove himself. And I think some of the players now, I'm seeing smiles on people's faces, happy to come in and prove what they can do instead of just, you're not playing. People like Rudiger and things like that coming in as Paqueta getting on the score sheet. No, I'm really happy with so far. But this, like you said, I remember you said it a few streamers ago. It was like the new period when a new manager comes in and the results go good, and then we never know in a few years or so, in a year.
Yeah, I just fingers crossed that this guy is
the right
going
guy.
just to he will learn from the past experience. Everything that didn't work out in the past, I think he's going to try to avoid it. And continue to do the right thing. That's what I believe. I believe in people change.
And he's saying the right things as well. You think all his press conferences, everyone's been impressed with what he said, and so we fingers crossed. What did you make of the what he said about Werner's sensitive? And I think maybe it was a little bit of lost in translation. I don't think he meant it like that, but I've seen a few stuff on social media where people are saying,
it was taken out of context.
Yeah, exactly. I think he just meant sort of like he's. Nobody's basically not happy if they're not scoring. That's what he kind of meant. But
exactly,
how the media are, and
the media just try to make high lines. It's a business, bro. So if it can help to have a lot of clicks and likes and business, that's what you have to do.
Exactly. So, yeah, but fingers crossed. Like I said, hopefully these next few run of games we can get going, man. We can really start push up the table.
And with Harry Kane out for a little while, and we're playing Spurs the next game, we got a chance,
Big chance. And not even just him, even the defense, man. The defense looks really bad. I watched the Liverpool game. They played against Liverpool and they made about two mistakes. Liverpool weren't really that good, but they made 2 mistakes at the back. Eric Dyer and the other guy, I forgot his name.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, yeah. He just made two mistakes and let them score. And then even today, the defending, Brighton could have had 2 or 3 goals easily had 2 or 3 goals today.
Yeah.
So I think there's big problems. This is the best time for us to play them with the momentum, new manager. And if we beat them, like I said, it takes us up 36 points. That draw against Wolves now, I know it's done and we need to get over it. But now in hindsight, those extra 2 points were needed, man.
I was thinking about it. You just read my mind. I was thinking about it. That just imagine if we scored even 1-0 and we got 2 points. Right now, we were going to be in a better position. Yeah. But that's why I insist. I tell people, we don't have a killer. We don't have somebody. Did you watch Mo Salah?
Yeah.
Look at the goals that he scored.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the whole defense, but he will find a gap to score. Can you imagine if we had somebody like that in the team? Those are the kind of moments you need sometimes. Okay, you can't score, and you just score 1 goal and you close the shop. Game over. 3 points.
100%. I think that's what we're missing. And that's what goes back to somebody like, well, we had a few of them, maybe like Costa, and then you go back to Drogba. Drogba was never, I wouldn't say he was never, of course he was a goal scorer, but he wasn't Harry Kane 30, 40 goals a season.
No.
Like that. But he had, like you said, those moments where if you need a goal,
he will give you a goal.
He give you a big goal, you go and defend it, maybe score another one on the break, but 1-0 Drogba, 1-0 Lampard, 2-0 Drogba, Lampard on the score sheet. Those are the kind of wins that we miss because, like you said, we haven't got those clinical guys up that end of the field.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. I think in the summer we're gonna have to address that. I personally think, but it opens up a bigger conversation because I think nowadays we have to sell to buy. We definitely have to sell because the squad is too big. So who would you, out of our big name players, would you say probably would have to go to in order to make up the money to buy somebody? Because I don't think we can sustain keeping such a big squad with so many big names and then not go out and still go out and buy people. It's just going to create more problems as well, even if we do bring in more players. Because if we bring in a Highland, we have to maybe a Tammy or Giroud or whatever has to go. But then you still got Werner, you still got. So I don't know. Maybe something.
I think first of all, Giroud is definitely going
in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, in the summer he's going, and then I think Thomas is going to try to play two in front. So definitely we need another striker there.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a rotation. If Tammy wanna be on the bench, or Haaland and Timo Werner, you never know. But I think.
What do you say about Kante? Do you think I've heard some people say maybe Kante could be sold to make some funds.
No, Thomas Tuchel is a big fan of Kante.
Okay.
He wanted him at PSG. He even admitted it's very rare for coaches to come and say, "Hey, I wanted him in my team, but now I have him." So I don't think he's going to sell him. He ended up by buying Idrissa Gueye from Everton. But he didn't do good at PSG at all. So he was compared to Kante and all that, but wasn't good enough. I think it could be just a personal bias, but I would like to keep Kante at least for a couple more seasons. I think if we can keep him fit, he's going to help us. We're going to challenge. Next season, we're going for the Champions League and the Premier League. So we're going to need somebody like Kante, a serial winner, You need people like him, humble, a World Cup winner, 2 times, Premier League winner, Europa League win. I mean, the guy got it all, man.
Yeah.
Just people watching at Kante, how humble he is, and he won pretty much everything. It's just something in the dressing room. You don't have to be a vocal guy, loud, shouting at people to be respected.
Yeah.
Some people like Kante just demand respect just watching his humility and what he has, won. But I don't know. For me, I will keep him.
Yeah.
Now we're not spending 80 million anymore on Declan Rice. So we can bring maybe Ampadu back, or we can just adjust certain players that we have. We have Kano Gala. It's gonna be interesting to see but I think we can afford getting Haaland too.
So you wouldn't think you don't think anybody would need to go out?
Yeah, I know. Somebody like Christensen. Let's see if he's going to have playing time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Zuma, I don't want to sell him. And who else? Who are we gonna sell?
So somebody like a Jorginho, maybe.
Jorginho, yeah. Jorginho, it looks like Tuchel also loves Jorginho, And I heard that they start talking about the contract. So you see, this is confusing, man. It's so confusing. But if I was in charge, I was going to sell Jorginho, that for sure, and keep Billy Gilmour. But
I think in this system, like you say about Billy Gilmour, I think in this system it's going to be tough for somebody like Billy Gilmour to break into the team because he's got a lot of midfield options now in that.
I agree with you, but the problem is this is not the system. This is a convenience system. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's make our defense solid, very solid right now, and try to win games. This is the system to win the game. And don't be surprised, in future games, 4 at the back or 4-3-3. He's going to adjust according to the opposition. So this is not the system, and we can't really. It's gonna be
he's one of those managers like a little bit of the problem that some people had with Lampard tactics. I think this manager, he's all about tactics. Everything is tactical. So whereas we knew Lampard was 4-3-3, and most games it's going to be 4-3-3 regardless of who it is. With this manager, like you're saying, I think he's going to adapt every game accordingly. So if he needs to change it, he will change. And that's the best thing for the team as well, because we have players that can change. If we're going to dominate the ball, you can keep on a Jorginho. But if we're going to be playing maybe against a team who hold more possession, you might want to play a Kante. So I think that's good. Or it's good that he's that type of manager that can adapt. Because that's what we've needed. Definitely, this is the type of manager that we've needed for a long time. I think we haven't had this sort of manager in like, I think for a while. We haven't had this sort of manager.
Frank Lampard did it. I know people are going just to jump on a comment now and start punching me. But last season, we finished 4th because of that. Because of Billy Gilmour came out nowhere and started scoring. Olivier Giroud was included back again in the team. We were playing 3 at the back, 4 at the back, whatever. We were adjusting to the opposition. This season, that's what people have been saying, that Frank Lampard forgot what he was doing good last season and start, being stubborn and pushing 4-3-3, 4-3-3, the same changes, the same players. But last season, I know nobody want to give him any credit right now. He was awful. The worst thing that happened to Chelsea and all the blah, blah, blah. But if we are honest enough, we all applauded Frank Lampard at some point last season.
100%, yeah. No one can say they didn't. That's 100%. He done a lot of good things last season, and he kind of. But I think
because just think about the game against Everton. How the hell we were going to win that game? No Pulisic, no, I don't know. So many players injured. Billy Gilmour coming from nowhere. Ross Barkley was frozen for a little while, and he just came back, and we figured out how to win against them. And then the following game against Liverpool, we did the same thing. And then we start adjusting and winning games. That's how everybody was like, this guy got something in the locker, He does some tactics over there. But this season, for some reason, he thought he got all the time in the world to just force one system and impose our game to the opposition instead of look at last season, how we beat City. How the hell we beat City at home. It was almost impossible. We sit back, we waited for them, we took advantage of little mistakes, and we were clinical, and we won. But this season, how can you play this kind of game against City? You know how they play, what they can do to you, and you want to match them? Seriously.
It wasn't. He didn't make some of the right decisions this season that let him down. But I think that's also experience. I think he will get it. I think he will learn from this, so much. He will learn so much. And now I think maybe in his next job, he will be able to maybe change it. And maybe in the future, you never know, maybe in 5-10 years time or whatever, some people are saying maybe he might be able to.
But how the hell we from houses, we have so much experience, we can see things, and he doesn't see it when he's there with, with the coaching staff, Barry and everybody. I think he got deluded at some point thinking, okay, I am going to create the best team in the world. I'm going to just do my way this time or no way, because he didn't get I think he didn't really play for the result. He played for to just gel his team together and just impose his way of play instead of going for result while building slowly and surely. But I think he got tricked by the owner, by the board. They made him think that, hey, Frank, do your thing, and it's gonna be fun, and then at the end, exploded because of lack of result.
Yeah, I think the 200 million it didn't help him, because if you look at the table, we're still around. Even we won one game since Tuchel's come in. We had a draw as well. But if you look at it, we're not far away from the top 4, and he got sacked. Like, out of all the top managers, you look at Hudson-Odoi 9-0. You look at Arteta, relegation zone. You look at Ole. Ole's always been one game away. He's like the last man standing. Every time he's literally one life away. When you play in a fighting game, and if somebody punches you like Tekken, if somebody hits you one more time, you're dead. And every time he pulls out a move and he wins, he's been literally one game away. So I think Lampard is a bit unlucky, but I think it's the nature of our club.
Our club, And like I say, even me, I believed strongly that we're not going to sack Frank Lampard until the end of the season. I believed in the long-term project. I believed we were going to finish top 4. Like, I was really, I don't know what I can say, but me and Frank, we were the same people. Like, basically, nobody can touch me, okay? Let's just play. And look what happened to us, you know? Don't trust anybody, but it is what it is. I think they destroy his career because his reputation now is really damaged. You like it or not. The guy was at Derby County. Everybody knew that he was inexperienced. We wanted him because nobody wanted to sign for us without money and big budget. He came and he did his job first season. You gave him the money the second season. There's a context behind everything, you know.
Yeah.
The virus and the injuries at the beginning, and people are talking about the 200 million. Yes, how many times those 200 million people played together? There is a context, a big context, and the poor form of Timo Werner. How many chances that guy missed?
Still to this day, he's still missing chances.
Yeah, and people blame Frank Lampard for not getting the best out of him. And I was telling people, hey, he is poor, you know, like in general, he's poor. It has nothing to do with his position. You can tell this guy is lacking confidence, and just give him time. Now people can see all kind of positions he's playing, you know, left, right, center, everywhere he's playing, but it's not happening for him. So now people can start thinking, this guy really has nothing to do with the manager. It has something to do with his personal issues. So
I think it's the way he persisted. I think that's what he kept persisting with him, and maybe that was what kind of killed it at the end. But I get why he's a new signing, so
he's a new signing, a big money. And did you hear even the board putting pressure on certain player like, hey, Kepa Arrizabalaga, why you didn't get the best out of him? So it's confusing. Who signed those players? You never know. So he is there just to use them. Like, you have to do whatever you can to keep everybody happy. But sometimes in football, you can't keep everybody happy. Yeah. And even Thomas Tuchel now, I'm telling you, at some point, this is just the beginning. At some point, he is going to have some issues with certain players. Definitely. And that is the nature. That is the nature of...
You can even tell by his personality as well. His personality is he's quite forward. He's quite loud. He's not like Sarri or maybe somebody who can tell is a bit more like methodical and doesn't really say a lot. He's always talking. He looks bubbly. He looks like he's gonna piss somebody off. You can just tell somebody's not gonna buy into this whole like his big personality. Somebody's gonna go the other way, because that's how football is now. The big players, they don't need to talk. Like, even when Lampard they said, or quote unquote, they said he didn't speak to some players and whatever. The players think the same thing about the manager. You know, if they want to leave the club, they say, okay, cool, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I let my agent talk. You know, I turn up to training every day. They don't have to speak to them. If you want to speak to a player, literally, it can go through two people who have nothing to do what's going on in the pitch, the director of football or whatever, and the player's agent. And literally, the manager and the player never speak. It's just those two at the top. They're speaking and communicating, and they're speaking for the two people who they represent. And it's like, what's going on, man? Like, a player can now have so much power to not speak to a manager. And I think that's the difference now with the new age managers. They have to be able to really relate to the players and get the players on side. It's not like back in the day where Fergie and those type of managers can, you know, F word and this one and that one. You can't do that now. The players
and throw a pizza at David Beckham and
exactly, and push people. You can't do that now. The players
can't do that now.
Players don't care.
Yeah, it's another generation of players.
100%. So would you just quickly as well with the Wolves game? Not the Wolves game, sorry, with the Tottenham game coming up, do you think he'll stick with the same system? Because I know you said it's not the same system that he usually uses. So do you think he will, or do you think he'll change it? Or
I think he is going to be the same against Tottenham, because we know they always sit back and wait for you. So we're going to be cautious as well. But I think Kante is going to start instead of Jorginho. Maybe, I don't know. Kovac can offer something different.
What are you
But
thinking of Cover now? I know you're a bit up
yeah,
and down.
I'm not a
Cover's one of my favorite players, but I think last
yeah.
two games he's looked good in when he's picked up more space with the ball. He looks like he can run into some space now.
Yeah, my problem is the final third, though. I want
Yeah,
to see him more involved in the final third, assist, shoot from distance, just do something. That's
yeah,
my problem with Cover. Yeah, I like his way of play, and he can beat the pressure and all that. But
yeah,
the end of the day, we need to score goals, and that is the most important in football. But hey, if we can have somebody who can finish those chances, we should be fine. So if I have to sacrifice somebody, I will sacrifice Jorginho and play Kante and Cover, because Cover offers something different and better than Jorginho. That is my opinion. The
yeah.
tempo, we don't need those slow the tempo thing from Jorginho register thing. We just need to go forward. We need to attack. We need to score.
Yeah.
So
On Dembele as well, he looks like he's going to be a task for us to handle. He came off with an injury, I think, as well. So I don't know which.
well,
I don't
yeah.
injury on
I
somebody.
mean, you see, with Thomas Tuchel, he's going to find a cage, a kind of system that will work together in order to avoid, the one-on-one. You see why Jorginho is playing good? It's because of the whole system just working around to try to protect him. So I'm
Yeah.
not really afraid of Ndombele. I think we can beat them. We can really do some damage
If we
on
win this
Thursday.
game, we just need to. We need the 3 points. It can't
Yeah,
be. There's no. I know we've said that a few times this season. Like this is a must win. This is a must win. Every
yeah.
game feels
Every
like
game is a must win for us, but we don't win.
100%. But if we can at least get a result against Spurs, because we haven't beat one of those big sides yet, that's a massive confidence into this last like second quarter of the season, where it's like third quarter of the season, where it's like, okay, now we can really push on for the top four, and then in that last quarter, if there's anything left, and we can get a push for anything higher, then maybe. But the top
Yeah,
four has to be the main thing that we focus on now. If
yeah,
we don't beat Spurs, then it's a disaster. It's a disaster because
yeah.
it sets.
I think we're gonna beat them.
You said that about the last, what was it? The Wolves game 3-1.
Yeah, I got it wrong. But this one, I said my Marcos Alonso was gonna score, and he did. Yeah, champion, right?
Yeah. No, I wish I was optimistic like you, man. I wish I'm so, every time we go into a
you
game,
were right. You were right. You say it's gonna be a draw.
a draw.
That game,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you are better than me, but
You know,
I'm always confident. I always think that something can happen, even if the team is poor. Something can happen during the game that will help us. But those moments, we had those moments. That's the
yeah,
problem. Look at Chilwell.
yeah,
Look at Olivier Giroud. Look, we had chances. The moment is there. We didn't take that. Can you imagine if we scored the first? The game was going to be completely different. The
yeah,
game was going to open up, and we were going to score more. So
yeah.
I've been betrayed by my strikers. You have to understand me.
He said the same thing as well. He said maybe the after the game today, he said, two defenders on the score sheet, the strikers should be looking at that and thinking, I want to score, because I don't know. Up front, I think Tammy had a very, very poor game against today. He had a poor game, but I think he always was going to, because their centre backs are really good, and their centre backs love a striker who wants to play in front of them. And Tammy, as much as Tammy can run in behind, there was no space today to run in behind. So if he's not going to run in behind, he's not the best hold up play striker anyway. So I feel like today their centre backs, they had an easy day in terms of Tammy and centre forwards, but that also allowed more space for the wide players, and that's why you saw the two wide players. Well, maybe not. Aspilicueta wasn't playing wide, but that's where the goal came from, running on the overlap and getting the goal. So I think that allowed us to get a bit more space. That the midfield is so compact. But I feel at the moment we've freed up some space for our midfielders. It feels like we're not so. I remember on the Lampard, I kept saying we don't look like we're battering teams. We don't look like. But every game now, we feel like this is exactly what I meant. Like it feels like we're in command and we're gonna score. against Lampard. When
Yeah.
we had the last few games under Lampard, not the whole,
Mhm.
not this whole time there, but maybe the last few games under Lampard, maybe the last month or so, it just felt like we were winning games, but Zuma
But
header or a
mhm.
Mason Mount free kick or
Yeah.
something just a little bit ugly or rubbish, a penalty or something. It wasn't really like tactics, but now you can see the tactics really working. Like,
Yeah, but also, yeah, I agree with you. But also, you have to know, energy is everything in football. If you
yeah,
don't put that energy to execute the plan, it's not going to happen. And you're going to say, oh, there is no tactics because nobody is running. Like even journalists back in the day, when Frank Lampard was there, they were just saying, what the hell? Like they're not running. Like they are not interested in anything. It's like, hey, get me out here. Like I can't wait the end of the game so I can go home. So you can tell it was something in the dressing room that certain players didn't really want to give 100%. Now, like I said, it's a honeymoon, it's body, everybody got energy. Marcos Alonso, angry, want to show people. So he's going to run. Energy is something, man. I don't think any manager in the world is going to come to lose a game of football. But
yeah,
to execute a plan, you have to have a lot of energy.
yeah,
So you can tell the difference now that everybody is like, okay, I'm gonna give 150% here because I might lose my place. So the competition also is doing good to the team, and the new manager bound thing is real and it's working. Let's just hope and cross our fingers that it continues for this season until the end, so we can lift the Champions League at the end in May. Where the final is going to be this season.
this season, I'm not too sure, where it is this year. I haven't
It's
even
not,
thought that far ahead. It's not.
yeah,
Last year was Turkey. I was gonna say Turkey. Last year was Turkey.
yeah, Istanbul, Turkey. This year could be maybe Portugal somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or Spain. I don't even know because of the situation. No
We
fans.
go to the final. I will
Mhm.
break the rules. I will find a boat or I'll find my own plane I'll build a plane in my garden and
Yeah,
I'll
let's
fly
let,
there
let do it.
and I'll
Yeah,
fly there and I'll just stand outside the stadium. But I don't
and
care.
watch it.
And watch with my mask on. I don't care because
Yeah, I don't know, call me crazy, but I have some vibes of 2012. Kind
yeah.
of, okay, very bad season. Okay, we're struggling, but we go to win some trophies.
Yeah, we changed the manager that year as well.
We changed. Yeah, Di Matteo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh.
is the way it's going to be,
But
brother.
I guess Atletico I don't know if you've seen them right now. They're doing really well. They're 7 points clear, and
Mhm.
they've got a game in hand as well, so they can go actually 10 points clear at the top with their game in hand. So they're nearly there. Well, obviously you
Yeah,
never
for
know,
the
but
title.
because Real Madrid and Barcelona are still a bit off and on, I think they're nearly there. So they'll probably win that. So maybe they might focus on winning that. Maybe they might focus on their league more, even though I don't know. Maybe it could work either way.
It
But we
depend on
can't.
the day. It depend on the day. They just lost against the third division teams twice this season.
Yeah,
Copa de la Rey and also the Super Cup. They lost against the third division teams with everybody on the field, including Suarez and all the big gun. Joao
yeah,
Felix, everybody was there. So on our day, we can beat them. You
yeah.
know what I mean? We can beat them, man. I know Tuchel is not sleeping right now. It's just like
Watching.
walking on mat, all the formula, everything is just pray for our squad to be ready, injury free,
Yeah.
because injury can completely destroy our season. So if everybody is fit, I'm not afraid of them. We're gonna beat them.
How good do you think Tomori would have been now as well in the free? Because I think imagine him, Rudiger, and Thiago Silva. That's like not perfect, but I think he's perfect for a free at the back because he's so quick and
Yeah,
he can travel with the ball.
yeah.
Obviously he's gone out on loan now. There's nothing we can do, but I think free at the back with a Tomori is
Mm-hmm.
incredible. That's where I think he would actually be a lot better because he can cover the wide positions. So if the
Mm-hmm.
wing back gets caught out, he can run across because he's quick.
The problem also is, how do you think he was going to get a chance? Because now, if nobody is injured, we're gonna continue with the same people at the back, or maybe in the League Cup, or if we have a game after 3 days, we can change, but we still have Christensen and Zuma. So that also is a big question. Tomorrow was going to be better for us, just like if I give you a choice between Rudiger and Zuma, probably you're going to choose Zuma. But the manager, the manager has another idea about it. So it's not necessarily what we think, it's what the manager decides to do.
But I understand why the managers brought in Rudiger. I mean, I'm before this season, I'm going to be honest with you, I have been a very big critic of Zuma. And that's because he's on the ball. When he's on the ball at the back, I don't know if I've seen it, but sometimes he's really dodgy. Like he doesn't have he doesn't play with the confidence on the ball as like a Thiago Silva or even some of the other top centre backs. So this season under Silva, he's looked really good, but I don't know, later on in the Champions League, like in the later stages and for a title race, is he the centre back? I'm still not sure, because he scored some goals this year. Yeah, everyone's happy and everyone's Zuma, but I'm still a bit. I've never really, other than this season, I've never been a massive like Zuma fan, to be honest. I don't know how you see him, but
for me, the way we were playing, he was better than Rudiger and Christensen. That is just my opinion. But like I said, the way we were playing. So if we play 3 at the back and somebody can play the ball from the back to help counter or whatever, and then he fit better in this new system than Zuma. But make no mistake, Zuma can win everything in air. So we're gonna miss his presence sometimes in the box when we defend, set pieces and all that. But if we can score 1 goal more than the opposition, and we win the game, right? So
exactly.
That is good.
It's all still open. It's all still open for choice. But I think at the back he's been very careful though. He hasn't really rotated it that much in terms of the centre backs. I think next game against Spurs it will be the same as Rudiger and Silva again. Because at the back, I guess further up the pitch you can be a bit more of a risky and change it, but at the back you can't tinker with that too much. Yeah, so I think if we can get those guys playing and getting solid. They haven't conceded a goal yet. No, I don't think we have. No, we haven't under Tuchel. So let's.
No, we are 100%.
Yeah.
And Edouard Mendy is keeping clean sheet. Let's answer to some question. Thought on Alonso pointing the badge. What do you think? It was a dig on Frank Lampard or saying I'm here to stay? Kind of revenge.
It 100% was something to do with Lampard. 100. Everyone's saying, yeah, he didn't. No, come on. That celebration was very, very tactical. And even his comments after the game about, if there's some tactic. What did he say? If there's some tactics for people to follow, then...
And people know where to be.
Where to be, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you got it, bro. Because I put something like that, I got a lot of sticks. There are certain people who don't understand even simple stuff. Like some people can hide a message behind something.
Yeah,
but I understand maybe 12 years or 11 years old kid, they don't understand that. And they say, oh, why you hate Marcos Alonso now? You are looking for trouble for nothing. I'm like, it's clear what he's trying to say.
It was clear. You have to read... You have to read between the lines, He's not going to come out. He's not going to come out and say, well, I was here and all the team didn't know what Lampard was doing. No, of course, he's professional. He's media trained. He's going to say it, but he's going to say it with something. Because remember, it's ego as well. He's got some ego there. He wants to prove that I should have been playing, I've been on the bench for a year almost and I shouldn't be. So he proving it like, well, there was no tactics. That's why. That's what he wanted to say, If it was WWE, then he would say, he was rubbish. But
you're rubbish. Exactly.
It's not WWE, it's football, So you can't just come out and say it. But I think it definitely was a dig. It was a dig at Lampard, 100%.
Yeah. So Mr. Shaq is in the house. Would you like to see like the back three for the rest of the season? Oh, you are you want to see like us making some changes?
I think against the teams we've played, Wolves hasn't been a good side in the last month or two. They're struggling a bit. And against Burnley, they had some good results recently, but ultimately Burnley are still not eight, what about 16th or something. So against the two teams we've played, I think it's been good. I'm just worried when we get to the bigger sides. You remember when we initially went to the three at the back under Conte and we smashed it and we won the league, and then the next season it was like, oof,
We got found out.
And I think it's like you said, honeymoon period. Everything's new. The teams don't expect us to line up like this, but once teams start to figure you out in a certain formation, you have to be able to adapt it. And obviously, Marcus Alonso isn't the answer, even though he scored today. Brilliant. Yeah. We love him. We're happy. Like we said before, if he does that every game, we're Chelsea fans. Of course, we want him to do that every game. But if we be honest, against the big teams, can you see him making that when he's got the opposition winger, someone like Mane or Son or somebody like that running down that wing every single week against the big teams or in the Champions League? Is that the answer? So maybe not, because I don't think we have a left wing back. So I think for now it's good, but I think if we sign a left wing back and Odoi can really like adapt to that position, then maybe if it wins us games. But I don't think later on in the season that will work for us, because Alonso he'll find out Alonso's not the answer.
Okay, so what do you think about Emerson though? If Alonso is not the answer and we don't want to spend money, let's put Emerson.
I feel a bit sorry for Emerson, you know. I feel like he's had a run here and there, but he's never really been given a chance. What do you think? I think over the years he's proved himself in certain games, but he's not hungry, you know. Some players aren't hungry. I think some players.
I think he's too clean. He's too clean on the field. Like he doesn't want to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like sticking. You know, I like the player who will go for it. But him, I gave up against Spurs. You know, remember in the Carabao Cup?
Oh, yeah.
And he came on and immediately lost his man, and they scored, and we ended up by losing the game. From that day, I was like, no, I'm done with you. Because I was defending this guy last season like forever. When we were linked first with Ben Chilwell, I was like, no, Emerson is better than Ben Chilwell. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if you watched my video back then. I was defending fanboy.
Yeah.
I was like, no, Ben Chilwell. Emerson is going to do the beat. Give him a chance. But I think against Man City when he lost Mahrez, and also when he lost Lamela against Spurs, I was like, I'm done with you, bro. You are so clean. You don't want to get dirty. I'm done with you.
Yeah, he strikes me as one of those players who are like, you know, I'm in London, you know, I get maybe 60, 50 grand a week. You know, like he's just happy to be here, you know. He's not really here to tear up any trees or win titles. I've never heard him say, I'm here to win something.
To win title.
I've never heard him say, I want to be on that pitch every week. And I've never even caused some problems, you know, sometimes. Cause some problems, man. Even they were talking about Gareth Bale today, saying he's on so much money, and Graham Souness was like, he doesn't seem bothered that he's not playing, and he hasn't caused any trouble. And Carlton Cole and Jay Redknapp were like, yeah, but if he causes trouble, then he could be seen as da-da-da. But you know, sometimes you show us the fans that you want to be here. Show us, you know, and no passion for him. And he's Brazilian, well, he's Italian, but normally they're quite passionate, you know, and he just no passion.
He dyes his hair all the time. No, that is just another story. DJ, what do you have to say, brother?
Good evening, guys. Good evening. Hey, Cruz, how you doing, bro? You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad at all. I mean, I missed part of all this debate you guys have been having. I only just joined. I only just saw your notification now, Org. Sorry, I'm coming on late.
It's okay, bro. It's too late already in your country, so I didn't expect.
Bro. I got time to talk. What were you guys talking about anyway? What's the chat about today?
We're talking about any topic that comes through our mind. You know, the title is just the title, but this is for the people. You know, you choose the topic and we just discuss. So we've been discussing like about the Marcos Alonso situation. Should we continue with three at the back and keep Marcos Alonso as our, wing back, or should we maybe try Emerson Palmieri? So that was like
Do you know what? I have to say, if we're going to play the wing back roles, then for me it's got to be Marcos Alonso. Only because the guy, I think for me, he's probably one of the best wing backs probably around that you can have in that position. I think he's better than Chilwell in that way, and I think he's actually better than Emerson in terms of a wing back role. It's just when he plays as a back four is where I don't rate him. He's not good as a left back. For me, that's obviously Emerson and obviously Chili B.
Yeah.
So in terms of that position, yeah, I think he's actually good for that. I think the only thing I have with Alonso is he's tracking back really, because sometimes if he comes across somebody on the wing, you know, like we're going to probably have against Tottenham on Thursday, he can easily get beaten on the wing, and that's the only thing I have. And then he comes back and he can commit a foul and then cause free kicks in dangerous positions for the opposition we play against. So that's my only thing about him. But otherwise, I mean, listen, I mean, if Tuchel is gone with this back three and he's trusting it at the moment with my boy Cho, playing as a wing back.
I know you're a big fan of
massive. Callum. The only reason why, is I've seen this kid play. As you know, I'm a season ticket holder. Not only have I had a chance to go watch him play at Stamford Bridge, but I've also seen him play for the youth as well. He's a brilliant talent, and I just think he just needed that talent to come out with the right manager. Now Lampard was doing that. I mean, he had that with Sarri. But I think with Lampard it was a little bit. I think with Lampard it was more to the fact that he obviously got that bad injury. I think Lampard wanted to get to full fitness before he obviously was going to pick him. But obviously, somehow or another, they seem to have fallen out in that way. And he only gave him some games here and there. But what we are seeing of him now is the potential of what Cho is all about. And I think if he can stay fit, which I know he can do, I'm telling you now, the boy is going to be absolutely brilliant. He's going to be one of the best around. You know, for me. You know, so in that way, yeah, I think you know, if we're going to put with this wing back position, then yeah, you stick with Alonso. But as I said, my only thing with Alonso is, as I said, he's tracking back. Sometimes he can commit too many fouls. So
yeah, what do you make of his post-match interview? Did you?
I mean, I don't know, because I think he kissed the badge when he scored as well, didn't he today? I think this is the other thing.
Yeah.
Which I think what he's basically doing now, I think he's sending out a message to Frank Lampard, I think, saying to Frank Lampard, look, I love this football club, but you never gave me the chance to show that. Now, whether that is just him trying to get back in Chelsea's fans' good books, because as we all know, when he did that, when Lampard got told him to leave after the West Brom game and what he had done, a lot of the Chelsea fans and the fan base were against him. I have to say, even I was one of them, I have to say, in terms of what I thought he did was actually bang out of order. But then what he's saying today is kind of like kicking it back in Lampard's face, really, saying, you know what, well, you've gone now. I love this club. I'm kissing the badge. I've scored an excellent goal. You never gave me the chance. Okay, I did one mistake. You've held me, but you've literally called me out on it. Okay, from what I understand, from what he's saying as well, from other reports I've been reading of him in his Twitter page, he's been saying that Lampard didn't even tell him why he was dropped from the team. He just literally, when he came off the bus and did what he did against West Brom, that was it. He wasn't told. He wasn't literally told by Lampard, apparently, well, I'm dropping you. You're no longer part of this team anymore. So I think this is where all this whole situation has come with the board, you know, with players going and complaining to the board, because none of them actually knew why they were dropped or even explained to. This is what we've got to believe. But I, for one, don't think Lampard would have done that. I think he would have probably told him. And he must have just said, look, what you did against West Brom was bang out of order. You know, you should have stayed with your team no matter what. You decided to go off in a rage. You know, and this is what's happened. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how to take it with a pinch of salt, I guess, with him. I mean, him kissing the badge today, he just said...
Yeah, he said in his interview, he basically said that now players, you know where to be. You know, kind of saying like before we didn't
to Lampard,
Yeah, so...
So cheeky, man. So cheeky.
It is, bro, isn't it? It is.
Yeah.
Oh, so you, DJ, what do you think about Jose Mourinho?
Yeah, I've heard the Twitter. Have you heard? They're trending, isn't it? Jose out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the Twitter, mate. They lost. Oh my God, it's trending. They don't want him there. The Tottenham fans. I mean, I was watching another show. I don't know if Cruz has watched. I was watching another show. I don't know if I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on here, Augs, but I was watching the Football Terrace.
Yeah, it's
and
fun.
They had, and I don't know if Cruz. Have you ever watched that, Cruz?
Yeah, I watched the Football Terrace. Yeah, I watched it a few times.
Okay, they were trending it on there. Apparently, it was trending on there. Apparently, it came out on Twitter. It was trending around that they want Jose out. The fans have literally lost it, and there were some fans on the some fans in the studio giving their views, and a lot of them were saying, yeah, they just can't stand the football anymore. They don't know where this manager is going. I think if he doesn't win them the cup, they're all looking at this Carling Cup here, or the League Cup, that they're going to win this. But I think if Manchester City end up beating them, I don't know how Tottenham are ever going to win a trophy ever. And you have to say, what manager ever comes in there? If Jose fails to win them a trophy, right? Okay, you can't blame Jose. You have to basically say this team is never going to win a trophy if they can't win it under Jose Mourinho, yeah? Because he's won trophies everywhere he's gone, yeah. So for me, it's just hearing for once my team was not my team wasn't getting the crap today, but hearing the Tottenham fans today, I was loving it. I was loving it, bro. It. Seriously,
I'm loving every minute of it.
That's incredible for Spurs fans. Like, I don't know what you guys think about Mourinho. I'm not sure what your opinions are, but for me, I obviously I love him. But I think even things went sour with us and we sacked him and things like that. I think that's all part of football. Now I look at it in hindsight, I think managers come to an end, and maybe they done things wrong. We did things wrong as the club hierarchy. That's neither here nor there. But I think eventually it always comes to an end with a lot of managers. I think the blueprint of Wenger and Ferguson has told fans that you need a manager for 15 years, or your club's not a loyal club. But you know what players stay at a club for 15 years. So it's sort of the same thing with managers, which a lot of people don't kind of disassociate. That managers do change. They do want different challenges. They do go to different clubs like players. But with Mourinho, for Spurs fans to be saying, "Ow," the guy a couple of weeks ago, he was like he was caviar. He was top of the top. He was, we're gonna win the league. You know, Jose football and all of this. We love it. We got to a final, and within 2-3 weeks, he's getting out trending.
Bro.
That's the scary time that we live in. You could be a hero and a villain that quick. It's scary, literally.
Football, man. Football.
It is, man. It is. I mean, I think the only thing, Cruz, you made some valid points there, bro, regarding Jose and his relationship with us. I think what we got to remember with Jose Mourinho is our success was down to two people. All right, don't forget, before Jose came to the football club, our last time we ever won a Premiership title was 1955. Yeah, that was the last time we ever won a league, right? When Jose came in, not only did we have the strong backing of Roman Abramovich, but he gave him all that money to go and spend on these players, and he made us serial winners. And to be fair, in that first season when he came in, he had Damien Duff and Ian Robin on the wings. Now, we were playing some great football. We were playing some excellent football with those two, right? And he won us a title. And not only did he win us a title, he won us a double, bro. He won us a double. Okay, not many Premiership clubs can say, "Oh, we won a double," because I think only how many clubs in history have done? I think it's Manchester United, Chelsea, and there's another one. I can't think of the other one that's done a double.
Double in terms of
two Premiership titles in a row. Back-to-back titles. Sorry, back-to-back titles. Sorry. My wrong terminology. Yeah, back-to-back titles, bro. So so him and Alex were the only. I think who's the other one that did it? Do you know? It was a third
it's not Guardiola didn't do it, no.
Haven't City won back-to-back titles?
Was it Manchester City?
Back-to-back, right? Yeah, City.
Yeah. So only 3 clubs in history have done that. Okay, and I think what we've got to realise with Jose, then obviously things started going out. I mean, obviously relationships started to go as they always do. But I personally think back in 2007 when we were in the Champions League final, I think if he had stayed on, I really, really think we would have won that. I really do. Not under Avram Grant didn't make us, and as if you think about it, it wasn't Avram Grant who was managing the team. It was the players managing themselves.
Yeah.
So I think had he been there with that extra guy, I think we would have probably won it back in 2007 as well. I don't know what you guys think on that.
Yeah. I mean, Mourinho.
And I love. Go on, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, I think if Mourinho, everybody, even now, I try to banter, but Mourinho is the special one. He brought that arrogance. Let's go to win. We're gonna win, and he said it. We're gonna win, and we won. But back in the day, you have also to understand that it was like basically us on the market and the rest. No financial fair play, no nothing. It was like, okay, whoever you want, bring him in the team. Yeah. So you have to take that aspect also that, even if you give Mr. Cruz that team, He could have done something.
Yeah.
Maybe win the FA Cup or something.
Yeah. Maybe. But I think also, just to add to that, sometimes it doesn't always go that well because we've seen it with teams over the years. Even recently, you've seen it with like I think Malaga at one point had a lot of money in Spain. Even in England now, even RB Leipzig, they've sort of a new team.
I completely understand, but we started this. Chelsea started this. Nobody figured out what to do with us in like couple season. It was all us, Ferguson getting mad at us. Everybody just all over the place before they start, figuring out how to deal with us. But back then it was us, starting everything. And now, even if you have money, it's very difficult to win anything. Look at PSG. Why they don't win the Champions League with all the money they have?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the other thing that gets me, I think the other thing I would say as well, Orgs, is you just hit the nail right on the head. You used the term their finances, yeah. Mm-hmm. What I will say, okay, is that I'm not going to give the person's name, but I think we all know on this channel who we're talking about here. Yeah. I've seen this guy's videos, okay, and it makes me sick to death hearing what he has to say. Honestly. And for him to call himself a Chelsea fan, he's been there through the times of Chelsea. I know some of the board members as well.
I've been to this stadium in 1982. I've been to this ground. I
own half of the pitch owners as well. I'm one of the pitch owners that owns that pitch as well at Stamford Bridge, right? Now listen, the only thing I'll agree with him on one thing on that same person we're discussing here, because I don't want to bring his name up in this.
I know everybody knows.
Right? Yeah. Okay. The one thing I will agree with him on one thing: what Roman should not have done was try to move us out of Stamford Bridge. For me, if we can in any way extend the ground, I'd rather us do that because that is our ground, that is our home. Stamford Bridge is our home, right? He should try and do that. That's the one thing I'll agree with him on. The other thing, the most things I disagree with him is, I don't think we should ask the question now: is Roman the right man to carry us forward now? Should he be leaving now?
Be careful what you're wishing for.
I'm hearing that, mate, and I was absolutely vexed. I'm thinking, this guy, I mean, what is this guy on? I mean,
I think that there's a saying, it's literally the epitome of this saying is wise after the event. It's like, we just won 5 Premier Leagues, we've won Champions Leagues, we've won Europa Leagues, FA Cups, and now, you know what, I don't think you're the right person. It's like you investing all your time and energy into a person and them saying, you know what, like we've been married for 50 years, but this wasn't right at the beginning. But they literally had the time of their lives. They told everyone they love you. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like his I don't know. I wouldn't say it doesn't make sense. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody because it's their opinions and stuff like that. But to me, it's just, I agree with you completely, DJ. It's like, it's so, with some points you can kind of say, well, I kind of get where you're coming from, and you almost try to not be ignorant, try to dissect it. Like maybe there are some points he's got that valid, and like you said about the stadium and things like that, that's a valid point because that's our heritage and history of the club.
Exactly.
But when you're talking about literally like, is he the right person for us? And like Org said, he's literally he's the person who, go ahead. Sorry, go on.
No, I wanted to say other fans from other teams are just crying for an owner like Abramovich.
Do you know what I mean? I thought maybe I was missing something. I thought maybe he was going to bring up some points. I've seen like the title of some videos, and I thought let's listen to what maybe some points I've missed, because sometimes I listen to maybe some of you guys speaking and some other videos, and I think, okay, maybe I didn't think of that. That's an interesting point. But when you actually hear what he said and some of the stuff he's saying. It's like, to me, it's just wise after the event. Now we've won a Champions League. Chelsea we are literally what we are. Chelsea are giving him. Do you know how ironic it is? Abramovich and what he's brought to the club literally potentially have him sitting in that position where he is now in terms of his career and what he's built. Because if we were a QPR, no disrespect, or if we were a Charlton, or if we were Chelsea of yesteryear in this current moment, nobody would watch our vid. Nobody would, and have that attention to the club. We wouldn't be classed as one of England's big 4 and one of the big 10 clubs in Europe. And your opinion wouldn't even have a platform. You potentially wouldn't even be where you are if Abramovich didn't bring us sort of the success that came with the money. So I don't know. It's very hypocritical.
Abramovich gave us jobs.
Exactly.
Look at me. I'm talking about it right now.
I think what the annoying thing for me of this all is as well, guys, is this as well, right? when people go around saying, this is the other thing, I hear it on StreamYards, I hear it from rival fans, I hear it from a lot, and this is what really gets to me, right? Because I don't think it's true at all. Maybe once it could have been, right? But I don't believe it's true. When people go around saying Roman Abramovich treats Chelsea Football Club as a toy, that is an absolute joke of a comment to make. Yeah, because if this guy was treating our club as a toy, he wouldn't care. Yeah, he would just say, okay, we're not winning anything for years on by. Let it just go by. It's just my little plaything. I can go and do whatever I want to do. When I'm ready to go back into it again and give them the whole do. He doesn't do that at all. The man is investing his money into it. He's bought all these players to the football club. We've seen at Chelsea Football Club some of the top managers come to our football club. I mean, one thing I disagree with on it all is the sacking of managers. For me, I don't think that is right. I mean, the one thing I don't like is the way Ancelotti was sacked. I mean, that for me is the biggest joke. I mean, you don't go around sacking a manager in the corridor of Everton Football Club after loss. You don't do that. Wherever you do it in house. If you're going to get rid of a manager, do it at your football club, but don't do it at another football ground, at another rival's football ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's go on, bro. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. Just to say, and also just to add to that, Lampard not having a proper testimonial and send off and things like that. There was a few moments that really
Ashley Cole as well.
Ashley Cole, that still sits with me now. It sounds like a bit. I'm still bitter about the way.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too.
I looked at even Totti a few years ago when he left Roma and he had the chance to stand there, and Lampard was our top goal scorer and top assist. I think close to in the top 5 of appearances. So when you're talking about literally Mr. Chelsea, everyone's going to talk about Terry because he was the captain, but Lampard, in terms of those standout achievements, he was literally in that modern era. He was literally everything to the club, and we didn't really send him out on a high. But just to add to that, when people say about Abramovich, he doesn't case a toy and things like that. The moment I could potentially maybe listen to that maybe 10 plus years ago. Let's say they even had a point. But that moment when we won the Champions League and the tears came out of that man's eyes, you knew that this guy was here for the club. He's not spending money because he wants to win. I won't say any other clubs, but we all know certain clubs in London, their owners don't even come to their games. They literally don't even come to their games. They don't come to their games. They don't come to their games. They don't come to cup finals. This guy could be at Stoke away. He's caught a plane and landed on some tarmac in Stoke, watching the game from the director's box in Stoke and Harlan. He's gone to certain away games. He's gone to certain home games. Most games when he can. Obviously, there's some problems with him coming into the country. But you ask anybody around the football club, the guy's involved. He is massively involved. And when he cried when we won the Champions League, to say that he doesn't deserve it and it's a toy, of course he's going to make it the best business opportunity because it's his business. He's investing his.
Well, he's not even getting money though. He's not even getting money. He's losing money so far.
Yeah, but even as a toy, he's the one investing all the money. So if he says, you know what, this is my toy, as long as he's running it like a very good toy, then keep. Yeah, we are a toy. So when people say things like that, I just think it doesn't come from any. There's no education about the club. A lot of people have an opinion on Chelsea only know about us now because we are.
That's the thing.
What we are made ourselves. So they say, for example, we only got trophies before, but we were in finals. We were competing. Yes, any Chelsea fan will be saying we wasn't obviously Man United, but we weren't Man City when they were losing 8-0 to Middlesbrough at certain points. Do you know what I mean? So people trying to, it's false equivalencies, and I don't think they really have a true knowledge of the club. So that's why they say things like that. So,
and you know what, bro? You hit the nail right in here because I tell you what, right? I'll tell you one thing, right? Yeah, even before pre-Roman Abramovich, I mean, I've been a Chelsea fan, right? Yeah, pre-Roman, right? And when people say we don't have history, this is another thing what people don't understand, right? I mean, if they even did their history on a football club, they'll know. Okay, yeah, we didn't win the old Barclays League Division titles. I get all that, right? But we did win a Europe when we won twice in Europe. We won in 1971. We won the Cup Winners' Cup. Okay, we beat Real Madrid. Yeah. Okay. We then won in 1998. We won the Cup Winners' Cup again. Yeah. Okay. This is pre-Roman. Pre-Roman, right? We won a ZDS Cup. Okay, people don't know what the ZDS Cup is yet, but that's a cup. I think it was a cup competition. Not many people entered. I think only we were in it amongst other teams. But it was still a trip to Wembley, right? Okay, we won that. Okay. We also won a Super Cup. We won the FA Cup. We won Carling Cups. When people say Chelsea don't have history, right? This is what people don't also understand.
It's just a banter.
We were the last club to win at the old Wembley and then we were the first club to win at the new Wembley.
Win it, yeah.
And people don't realise
that
when
is
you think
not
that there's no
history,
history,
and
what
then
do you call that then?
yeah,
It's
tell me
crazy.
about it. So, guys, we have 2 more quick topics that we're gonna discuss now. Please, Mr. Cruz, please, Mr. DJ, give me some hope
Go for it, bro.
about Timo Werner. What we're gonna do about this brother?
I'll let Cruz go first, and I'll go after. Go on, bro.
Bench him or continue to play him and waste those chances when we need him the most to score? What are we gonna do? Because Spurs, if we got a chance, we need to score. We need to score, okay? And this is the moment you want your main guy to do something. What's going on here?
Well, I think in one of the previous streams I said I've kind of given up on him, but
You
I
giving
think,
up on
yeah,
him?
I said I gave up on him, which sounds harsh and it might sound reactionary, but you know, I just think some of the stuff we're seeing, he runs in straight lines. You know, like some wingers, they got a bit of skill. They can. I don't know. For me, everything's really a bit easy to defend. I'll give you hope. I think a new manager. I think we've seen in the last couple of games he's still getting chances. I've heard some people and commentators and pundits saying he's got too much pace to not score, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think he could keep running into opportunities and chances all he wants, but he's still missing them. I'm not really sounding hopeful, am I? What hope? I don't know.
Do you think benching him for a while is going to help him or even destroy him the most? I don't know.
He has to play through the middle. I think if you're going to persist with him, he has to play through the middle, but you run the risk of causing another issue. Because if we've praised Tuchel saying he wants to see everyone, he wants to give everybody a chance, right, and earn their place. So then you can't persist with a player, but then say he needs to give everybody a chance and play the best team. Do you understand? So it's either this is the project, and he's not. I know people are saying he's a new sign and he cost a lot of money, but we've blown 45 million on more expensive players. I would be happier for him to sit on the bench and potentially give those other forward players a chance.
Yeah,
and bring him off the bench and let him kind of play his way into form, maybe getting a goal off the bench against a smaller team. So you look at Sheffield United, I wouldn't start him. I'd win the game. So I'd put your best team out at the beginning after the Tottenham game. At the Tottenham game, I wouldn't start him as well. And potentially in that smaller games, I'd bring him off the bench and I'd say, well, you got half an hour, 20 minutes. You need to prove to me, because I don't think we're in a position right now where we're dropping points. And that's why I will agree with some other YouTubers where they say, look, some players have kind of let certain people down in certain times, which let me down is a harsh word because they don't do it on purpose. You know what I mean? No player says, I don't want to score. But I do agree that if their forms were better, then potentially we could be looking at a different season, because he'd probably have about 15 goals potentially. He's missed a lot of chances. So I'd probably say, he has to come off the bench to prove his point. But yeah, I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him.
Yes, DJ.
Cruz, he's made some very, very good points there. I have to go along with the majority of what he's just said there. I think the only thing I can say about Timo Werner at the moment is I think we've got a situation. I think what people got to remember with him is, I know when he was at Leipzig, okay, so it's a different and it's a different league altogether. That's the Bundesliga. This is the Premiership. It's more physical. It's more fast. I get all that. But I think what people have got to realise with him, I've seen this. I mean, this guy 2 seasons in a row ended up getting over 20 goals a season in the Bundesliga. You don't achieve that being a bad person overnight. Yeah, they always say form is temporary, class is permanent. Yeah, this guy is class, and he will become class. I think what's not helping him at the moment is when he was what we've got to remember is when he was in Leipzig, right? He was playing off a strike. He was playing off Poulsen at Leipzig, right? And I don't think we have got the striking. I don't think we've got the players at Chelsea like a Tammy Abraham or even a Giroud for him to play off. Because if you think about it, they are more target men than they are holding up. Because if you're talking about him playing alongside like a Drogba or a Costa, now these 2 guys can actually hold the ball up, get others into play, and then they can go and finish. That's the kind of striker he needs alongside him. This is why I think we're so heavily linked with Haaland to come in the summer, because this guy can not only score goals, but he can also hold up play as well. If you see how built he is, this guy, right? He's like a tank, right? He looks a bit like Reece James in terms of how he's built, right? This guy's like a tank, yeah? And for me, I think this is one of the reasons why Haaland is actually going to be, if we do get Haaland, is probably one of the reasons why Tuchel wants to bring him in and why we're so heavily linked, is because he's the kind of player, not only would he just score us our goals, Haaland, but I think he'll also hold up the play for a player like Werner to just bang the shots in.
Yeah,
at this moment in time, I don't think he's got that at this moment in time. It's no. And listen, this is no fault of Abraham. This is no fault of Giroud because they're still our players. Okay, we still love them to bits, but they're just not the kind of men he needs alongside him. I think he needs like a holding up player to hold up players. You know, to hold up players to score.
I respect that, DJ, but the problem is he's getting chances.
I was just
That is what I was gonna say. Yeah, he is as well, bro. I can't think of too many. I know I'm just trying to be a bit. Maybe I'm just trying to be a bit. I'm trying to just show light at the end of the tunnel for him. I guess.
I think Haaland. No, I think you're right. I think Haaland will improve his overall game because ultimately Haaland will score more and be more of a handful for the defenders than the other strikers that we do have. So I think he will naturally get more chances under a better striker. But I also think he is the worrying thing is that he is getting chances. He's got the chance to be the leading striker, and he's not finishing them. So I think he will. Better players make better players better. That's a given. So I think he will. You're right. Definitely, Haaland will make him better.
But can I ask you a question, though, Cruz? I mean, we saw the game. Yeah, I mean, we saw the game against Wolves. Yeah, how did you really think Giroud played in that game? And then today he played Abraham. And then he decided to play Werner up front by himself. None of them really, I have to say, three of them, none of them really did that well between the three of them today, did they?
Well, everybody said in the stream before, I don't think you were in there. I'm not sure who was in that stream, but everyone said it was really hard on Abraham. And I was like, wow, this guy was amazing against Wolves previous games, and he's got a good record. And you always see managers try to go with players who have a good record against a certain team. And I just thought against Wolves, he would move a bit more and he would potentially be the right person to start. I said he should actually start. And when I saw Giroud, I thought, well, Giroud's a good goal scorer. I wouldn't say I didn't think he would be that bad, but I potentially would have played a striker who had a bit more mobility in the box to move around because Wolves defenders are quite slow. They got Cody and I think it's Dondonka or Saiss, one of those two, and they're not the most mobile. And Tammy kind of enjoys when he can play against some centre backs where he can move them around a bit. And he didn't. There was no space for Giroud to utilize. That was the problem. Even though we had lots of possession, they weren't moving. So that was the problem. They just defended quite deep into their box, and Giroud couldn't really buy any space. That's the biggest problem. I think also for our midfield, just quickly, we don't have a creative midfielder. I know Ziyech was out. I didn't even notice Ziyech wasn't playing. I was so excited to watch the game. I woke up quite late, so I quickly just turned it on and started watching it. But I didn't realize Ziyech wasn't playing. It's not till after the game I saw a tweet and someone said, something about Ziyech, and I was like, whoa, he wasn't even playing.
He wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah, he wasn't on the bench, and apparently he's giving him a break or something. So
yeah, he's tired.
He's tired. So I think we're still lacking a creative player. We're still lacking that aggression. I know everyone's really proud of
like a Fabregas.
That's my man. Fabregas, don't even remind me Fabregas, man.
Fabregas in the Jorginho role, I would swap Jorginho for Fabregas, but I more mean like an out and out, like aggressive number 10. I say
I know.
So where Mason Mount is playing, he done a couple turns today.
Like Grealish? Are you talking about Grealish?
Yes, really, really, like, you know, somebody who really picks up the ball, they want to buy a yard and smash the ball. That's all they want to do. They want to score or put somebody in for a chance. Just really dynamic. We don't have that player at the top of that midfield. I know Havertz is the player we bought, but for me, his style of play, I just don't know if he will mold into that role.
That is a very good transition. So tomorrow or today in your country is like the transfer window closes. Is that
deadline day? Yeah.
That deadline. So if you have to bring somebody, okay, Abramovich say, Tuchel, you have the money, go for somebody to improve and get us top 4. What would you do? And the second quick question is, how about Billy Gilmore? Do you see us like getting rid of few people tomorrow or today in your country?
I'll let DJ go first this time.
Gilmore, Billy Gilmore, that's an interesting one. From listening to what Tuchel's basically saying about Billy Gilmore, it doesn't like he wants him to go anywhere. Okay, I know he's been linked with some clubs. I think, in fact, he was actually linked with the club we played today. I think as far as I heard, reports are Burnley have actually asked about him. And I think, they asked about him. Yeah, from what I understand, they have said they have. Because the owner was talking the other day. He didn't obviously give names, but he goes, "We're going for loan moves." And then a couple of tweets. I think one of the journalists I read up on Twitter said that but Burnley have actually inquired about Billy Gilmore. to see if they can bring him on loan. And Chelsea have obviously nothing's been said like on Chelsea's side of it all, but I know they want him. Who's the other one? I think West Ham is the other club that are looking at Billy Gilmore as well. So that'd be another interesting one. So hopefully he'll actually stay. I hope he does.
So who is coming? Who is coming?
In terms of who I'd love us to bring in, I know we're not going to get anybody in because I know we're not linked with anybody. But if I was to say to bring anybody in, let's be real here. Haaland is not going to come. I know that now. He won't come now. So if I'm going to bring somebody in now that can possibly come in and maybe do what we've been asking for, because I know I've seen him play. There's two players that come to mind. One of them is Zakaria from Mönchengladbach, and the other one is Soumare. From Lille. From Lille. They're the two players I would seriously look at. Declan Rice, I don't think he's going to come now. I think the board have already said they don't want to bring him in because the reason being is they've let him go as a kid. They're not going to go and fork out 50, 60 million to bring him back to the football club. So I don't think that's going to happen. So they're the two players I would probably look at. I mean, people are talking about wingers. Okay, I'm going to recommend the winger to you guys, and I think it's only because we can get either one of them. Because Valencia, for one, are in financial situation, and they've signed. I know they've got a player on loan today. Gudas, Portuguese winger from him, and the other one I'd look at is a kid for the future. And only because I'm being Portuguese, I watch a lot of Portuguese football. The one kid I love is Jolson Fernandes. He plays for Sporting Lisbon.
You told me about it.
Yeah. He's an absolute
I've been watching his
talent.
videos since you told me about him.
Player, bro. What do you think of him?
Good, but it's YouTube, brother. So I believe you, but I just watched some clip and everybody
trust me when I tell you this, guys. He's a brilliant player, and he's only 17 years old.
Yeah.
So they're the two I look at. People want to look at a defender. I don't think we really need to. We got Zuma there. I mean, if we can get rid of Christensen, I'd be happy, but that's not going to happen. So I guess we'll have to just stick with what we've got in terms of that.
We stick with what we get.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mr. DJ Cruz.
Thank you, bro.
You to finish to conclude this debate, brother.
So what's that? Who I would bring in? I couldn't off the top of my head now. I think the only player or the only position I think we potentially need strengthening is maybe. I think we got too many players. I can't even think where they would fit. I can't even think where they would fit. Maybe on the right hand side. Maybe on the right hand side. I know Hudson-Odoi is coming to that position now, but he was usually supposed to be on the left. So I'm not 100% sure. I'll probably have to come back to you on that one.
Would you take Dembele on loan from Barcelona? I know he's been linked with us. Or do you think that will stop Hudson-Odoi from progression?
I think it's the message that it would send is just really strange, and that's the problem with our signings as well. That I want to see some continuity now with the signings. Like we have to make signings that make sense. If we sign Ousmane Dembele, but we have Pulisic, but we have Odoi, but we have Ziyech, to be like, what's going on here? We're too top heavy, and then we've got one right back. So I think potentially a right back or a backup left back. But I think that would depend on people going out, and if no one goes out, then don't really see any point of anybody coming in. Because if you say he's going to keep Alonso now, and Ben Chilwell is obviously the new left back, then I'd like to see Ian Mason, our young left back.
He's on loan, isn't he? He's on loan, isn't he?
Mason. I would love to see him come in and get some gear. I don't know what the situation is with him, but let him get some experience. I actually would be a fan of Gilmore going out on a loan because if he's not gonna play, because I wouldn't be a fan if he's in Tuchel's plans. But if he's going to be one of those youngsters that we just see, around the team and not really playing, he doesn't need experience of seeing how first team is. Some youngsters, you bring them up and it's just have a season of training around the first team. He's a player that is ready to play men's first team football. So I would like to see him go out and play a bit like Ethan Ampadu, got a big experience at Leipzig, played against Spurs in the Champions League knockout stage. The first time in Leipzig's history they played in the knockout stage, and he was at centre half, and he absolutely bossed it. I was so proud that game. So I want those moments for our players. If Burnley can go on an FA Cup run, for example, and I don't know if they're still in it, but if Gilmore was part of that, then that's going to be a lot more beneficial for him to be playing consistent Premier League football than for him to just be on the bench and potentially. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, but if he can play, then he should stay.
I think the Ousmane Dembele links is only because Tuchel worked with him at Dortmund, didn't he?
Yeah,
and that's the reason why he wanted him.
Isn't he really injury prone? Apparently,
he is. That's the reason why I wouldn't have him for that reason. because he's exactly what you just said, bro. He's exactly that. He's injury prone. I think Barcelona
He's
just
not
want to get him off their
disciplined.
books.
He always late in training. He doesn't sleep. He plays like video games the entire night.
Oh,
It's
really?
a lot of
need that.
a lot of stuff going on with that guy. But if Thomas can discipline him, who knows? But yeah, I completely agree with you guys. Thank you so much as always, guys.
No problem, bro.
You have no idea how you are helping this channel, because I can't talk for such a long time. This is you helping here, taking over the channel, and I really appreciate it.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen, I can probably say listen, mate, you're the one that makes this channel what it is, bro. You just remember that. Yeah,
no, it's you, man. It's
you haven't.
You're just being humble. You're just being humble.
I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you, right? If you look at your subscribers, bro. If you look at your subscribers now, okay, people are sharing this video. People are going around and putting likes on it for a reason, bro. You give Chelsea fans hope. And what I love about you, mate, is you say how it is. And you don't stand no crap. And you say, I love your title, No to Racism. Do you know how full on I am for that? Because when I actually, which is what got me so peed off, I think it was in one of the streams we did today earlier on, bro, right? Yeah. I was absolutely vexed when I heard, okay, they're not my players, okay, and I don't play them, but any player being racially abused by the stupid, pathetic, idiotic fans out there that don't seem to have a life, they can go around doing what they're doing, okay, they've literally got no life. They've got no, what do you call it at all? I don't know their upbringing, what that was like. But when I saw the two plays, first Martial, then the defender, and then to add it, then I'm seeing my boy Reece James on there as well. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell are wrong with people, man?
What's wrong with people?
It's a joke. It's
unbelievable.
a joke. Sorry, I was about to swear because I'm so vexed. Sorry.
Understand. Drink some water,
Seriously.
brother. Drink some
Honestly.
water.
It just
I
vexed me up
completely
that
understand
today.
you. Thank you so much for the support. You want to say something, Cruz?
Yeah, no, I just echo what DJ said, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just echo.
Okay, so I think Cruz.
Oh no.
He just left us. So everybody, thank you so much. Good night or good day or good morning, whatever it is in your country, and I will talk to you.
And thanks for having me on, bro, as always.
No problem, Mr. DJ. Cruz, you wanna say bye to people? Cruz.
Yeah, bro. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, bro. Sorry. Yeah. And I just want to echo. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, and I just wanted to echo what DJ said about obviously the channel, man. You give everyone an opportunity to come on and give their opinion about the club, so we really appreciate it, man. And keep doing what you do, man. You're the reason why the fan base can get together and have a good conversation, away from all the major big platforms.
That's the way it is, brother. Anytime. We don't have to agree on everything. We can disagree. It's football. It can get some heat at some point, but hey, this is why we love football. Everybody, good night and think outside the box. God bless. Okay.